So welcome everyone. I'm so pleased to see you here with me today. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and invite you to my presentation here. I'm so glad that you could come and get to learn more about this technology. And my favorite two places to learn more is by some presentations with Alan Noble. He has two sites that I highly recommend. One is realredoxresults.com. And on this site, there's a lot of testimonials around what people are experiencing by using this technology. The password is redox, all lowercase. The other site is realredoxresults.biz, and it gives a great overview of many different aspects. He breaks it down into 3 parts. And so without further ado, let's go ahead and check out his presentation. I'll type in the word redox, and we will see what he has to share.
Hello and welcome to the Asea opportunity. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Alan Noble. I'm originally from Ireland, now living in Dallas, Texas, with my wife Tanya and my 2 daughters. And I've been a home-based entrepreneur for almost 30 years. And for the last 12 years, I have focused my time on this exact same opportunity that I'm sharing with you today. In that time, I've been grateful to have achieved considerable financial success for myself and my family. Now, this opportunity has taken me from being financially embarrassed to experiencing true financial freedom. But more importantly, I've been able to work directly and indirectly with thousands of people who have also seen financial success with this opportunity. Some of them even going on to become members of our elite $1 Million Earners Club. Now, I don't say any of this to impress you, but to impress upon you the sheer potential of the information that you are about to review. Now, before we get started, I want to tell you up front that the people that succeed with this opportunity can check 2 boxes. You've got to believe your health is your greatest wealth, and it's your responsibility to invest into it, that living in a healthy, vibrant body is important to you. You also have to have a strong desire to create an additional income stream. If you can check those 2 boxes, then I can assure you, you are in the right place at the right time, watching the right presentation. I would like to begin with some what-if questions. What if there was a breakthrough in the massive $150 billion health supplement industry? A breakthrough technology that for 2 decades science had declared was impossible, and yet today represents a new category of science. What if this high-impact technology was allowing people to experience better health and vitality, greater athletic endurance and recovery, slow down the aging process so you can look younger longer? What if this same technology was protected by patents and trade secrets, so there was no competition, no copycats, no other company in the world has anything like it? No one. And finally, what if virtually no one knows about it? With less than 2% of the population even knowing the technology exists. What if all of this was true? Would that sound like an opportunity to you? Now, the fact is, breakthroughs create opportunity, and the bigger the breakthrough, the bigger the opportunity. So I'm going to divide this presentation into 3 parts. Part 1, we're going to talk about money, income, opportunity. Then in part 2, I'm going to introduce you to this massive health science breakthrough that checks every one of those what-if boxes that I mentioned earlier. And then finally in part 3, I will introduce you to the company behind it all, how to get started, as well as give you some additional resources so you can explore information to make an informed decision. So with that, let's get right into part 1, the opportunity. So you're watching this video because you're open for ways to create an additional stream of income, particularly if it doesn't get in the way of what you're currently doing. An income opportunity that you can weave into even the busiest of schedules. A business that does not require a lot of upfront capital, running costs, or any employees. A business that you could run from your own home with a phone and a computer and offers unlimited training and support. Best of all, a business that can empower you to better people's lives and be a force for good in the world, or as I like to say, make a living while making a difference. So let's get a little personal and let me ask you this question. How much additional income would it take to make a real difference in your life? What would winning look like for you? Perhaps you're looking for some part-time income. There's too much month left at the end of the money, and you want to create an additional income to relieve the financial stress. With inflation going through the roof, look, if you don't find a way to make more money this year over last year, then financially you are slipping backwards. Maybe you want to replace a full-time income. You want to be your own boss, work from home, take back control of your financial future. I realized at 23 years of age that I was psychologically unemployable. I did not want to clock in and clock out for somebody else for the next 40 years. Maybe that's you. Or perhaps you believe you deserve to have it all. You see the big picture here and realize that big time income, lifestyle income is possible. Now, allow me to stress, this is a business and it does require work. Like any business, there's no guarantees of income. Results that you experience will be based on individual effort, commitment, and dedication. However, with that said, here's a snapshot of the various levels of success in our business and the corresponding incomes. These are real people achieving real results. There are monthly lows and monthly highs, but I've highlighted the monthly average. And I think it's fair to say that we check all the boxes, whether it's some additional part-time income, full-time income, or that big-time lifestyle income. And the income that we're talking about can become a residual income. Think about this. You have residual bills in life, bills that come in month after month, whether you're working or not. Why not have a residual income that comes in month after month, whether you're working or not? I once heard it said that if you fully understood the power of residual income, you would walk through a brick wall to get to it. And yet the sad truth is most people never get to experience residual income because they don't have enough spare money to create it. Instead, they spend their entire working lives exchanging the most valuable thing they own, their time, for a one-time dollar. So at this point, allow me to introduce you to Asea Redox, what many experts are calling the single greatest health science breakthrough of our lifetime. To grasp the importance of Austere Redox and this breakthrough, you must fully understand that your body is the most complex communication network on Earth. Every second of every day, your cells are passing tremendous amounts of information to keep your body running at optimal health. Any breakdown in this vital communication, in this signaling, and you cannot achieve your full health potential. To put it very simply, if your cells can't signal, then little else matters. Imagine your home is on fire and you call the fire department. They've got the big red truck, the firefighters, the fire hose, everything they need to put out the fire. But what if you have a bad cell signal? They don't get the message and your home goes up in smoke. The $150 billion supplement industry has put all of their focus and attention on the fire truck, the vitamins, the minerals, the antioxidants, the exotic juices, the essential oils, the CBD oils. But nobody is focusing on the critical cell signal until now. Asea Redox is the world's first and only cell signaling supplement. And for the first time, we can amplify and clarify this critical cell signal, and the difference it's making in people's lives is absolutely astonishing. This signaling technology is empowering people to feel better than ever before, helping folks with challenges they may have had for decades, proving to be the missing link to better health and vitality. And it's not just health. Casual athletes all the way to Olympic athletes are experiencing improvements in endurance, strength, and recovery, beating personal bests and breaking documented world records. And with our topical signaling gel, Renew 28, Seeing is believing, resulting in a healthy, clear complexion, tighter, younger-looking skin, while dramatically reducing wrinkles, stretch marks, cellulite, and many other signs of aging. And when applied to sore joints and muscles, we often see dramatic improvement in 5 minutes or less. And as I said earlier, this astonishing technology has been validated by third-party independent science, and thanks to multiple patents, there is nothing else like it in the world. So at this point, let's move to part 3 of this presentation as I share with you a little of the story behind the breakthrough. The founders of Asea, Vertus Norton and his son Tyler, were both extremely well-experienced corporate strategists working with several multi-billion-dollar companies. They had bought an unfinished version of this technology from a struggling biotech company. They brought in a team of brilliant scientists led by an atomic medical physicist, and soon they achieved the breakthrough. They stabilized a cell signaling technology that previously science had declared was impossible. The goal now was to simply sell their new technology to the pharmaceutical industry and walk away with the profits. However, knowing that their product was 100% safe with 0 levels of toxicity, they started 40 people using the product. And many of these people began to see remarkable results. They naturally started sharing the product with others. And soon there's 135 people in 20 different countries benefiting from this breakthrough. A pharmaceutical company flies into Salt Lake City, puts a multi-million-dollar offer on the table with one condition. Every single person drinking this product had to stop, regardless of the life-changing benefits they might have been experiencing. So it's important for you to know that the founders of Asea actually said no to this massive payout, and they said yes to a set of principles. They said yes to putting people first. So what now? They have something that people deserve to know about. But how do we tell the world that this powerful technology exists? Both Vertus and Tyler knew that their cutting-edge technology would require a little education and personal experience. They'd also seen that when people benefited from the product, they would naturally share it with others. So they chose word of mouth, referral marketing, network marketing. And it's this business model that opens up tremendous financial opportunity for people like you and me. Someone who wants to build an exciting residual income while having a positive impact on the lives of others. As I said earlier, making a living while making a difference. And here's a quick summary of our success so far. Officially launched in 2010, we're a legacy-focused, debt-free company. We own and operate our FDA-registered, NSF-certified manufacturing facility. We operate more than 20 distribution centers and ship to over 30 countries in North America, Europe, Australia, and Asia. We have achieved over $1 billion in sales since we began, and we've paid out over $450 million in commissions, positively impacting tens of thousands of people's lives, both physically and financially. Asea wisely spent the first decade laying the foundation for long-term success. In 2020, we achieved global sales of $180 million, and we're on track to triple the size of this business, taking the company to $500 million in sales over the next few years. Now, in doing so, we will pay out $1 billion in commissions, creating strong part-time, full-time, and yes, big-time residual incomes for our associates. So everything is in place for your success. A financially rock-solid, ethical, principle-based company, a patented, protected breakthrough in health that is changing lives, and yet most people don't even know it exists. A generous compensation structure where you can earn significant residual income. And perfect timing. We are post-risk, but we still have most of our exciting growth ahead of us. And of course, you're in business for yourself, but you're not by yourself. With unlimited training and support from like-minded entrepreneurs who've already experienced success. Becoming an Asea associate couldn't be simpler. Step 1, visit the Team Asea website or the person that introduced you to this video and click on the join button to become an associate. Step 2, choose one of our discounted enrollment packs and become a product of the product. Step 3, opt in for our very user-friendly subscription program that can be cancelled at any time. With our monthly subscription, you start to earn valuable loyalty reward points that can be cashed in for free product down the road. Now, I want to thank you for your time in watching this short video. If you'd like to better understand the business model of network marketing and how the money's made, then I'm going to encourage you to take a few minutes and watch the next video. You can also listen to people from around the world share their experiences with the Asea business opportunity. If you'd like to dig into our breakthrough health technology and how it's impacting people's lives, then visit our sister site, www.railredoxresults.com. Same password that got you onto this site. And finally, I recommend getting back to the person that invited you to Asea. And if you're ready to join us, I want to be the first to welcome you aboard the great Asea adventure. This is Alan Noble thanking you for your time today and wishing you all the success that you believe you deserve. And bye for now.
So let me just get my screen back here. And let me share a little bit about my journey. Last August of 2021, Marion Palmer reached out to me. She knew that I'd just gone through a surgery and wanted to know what I was doing to support myself. And she shared that realredoxresults.com website with me. Well, I spent the rest of that day immersing myself in this fascinating technology and learning as much as I could. And if you know me very well, you know that I dive right into something when I see something that I've been praying for. So the first thing I did was, Marion said, Gloria, take your picture. So I went in the bathroom with no makeup and I took my picture before I started the journey. And I'm really glad I did. And as you can see, I've consistently used 8 ounces of Redox daily, and I've used the Renew 28 and the Advanced Skincare System twice a day. And I'm glad I took pictures each month because by January rolled around, I could really begin to see results. At first, I felt a little bit of shame about this. And I thought, wait a minute, why should I feel shame? I'm actually getting to see my skin reversing aging. It's much more supple. It's not as thin. I'm not having as many wrinkles or sags or bags. And I feel younger. I have more stamina. Not only did I have less pain from my surgery, but I have clearer thinking and my breathing has improved because my lungs had been weak. So I'm really looking forward to what the next results will be. This technology, it helps the basic building blocks of our body to thrive. But it's not just for us humans, it's also for our animals. I love this example that I found on Facebook, but I also got to hear a fascinating interview that Dr. Dick Walker gave with Yanni Feliciano. The short story of this is in late May, early June, she noticed that her horse had some kind of a growth. She thought it was like a mole on his cheek. She got the vet to come out and look at it, and the vet said, oh, this really does look like a very aggressive condition that will grow rapidly, and said that they needed to go in and have some laser surgery and really do a deep process to make sure that they got the whole thing out. But they weren't able to get it scheduled right away. She said that it would be okay for Yanni to use the gel, but she wouldn't inject the liquid into the growth out of fear it would make it be aggressive. But by August 22nd, Yanni noticed that it looked like this growth was starting to come off. So she called her vet, who came out and took the sample to send it into the lab. And they found out that sure enough, it is that aggressive condition that she was afraid of. She continued to apply the gel, however, and by the time they got a hold of her, and by October 2nd, to schedule this surgery or this treatment, then she said, well, do I really need to? Because it's completely healed up and the hair's even grown back. The vet was really shocked and came out with another vet and did an examination again and took pictures and basically said that it was a shock that the hair had grown back like that, because if they had followed through with the recommended treatment, that most of the time the hair would grow back white if it grew back at all. So Yanni was so delighted that she saved about 10 grand not doing the recommended treatment, and her horse didn't have to go through that procedure. So each one of us has the potential to live a more abundant life and feel our very best, both four-legged and two-legged. And that simple truth continues to inspire our Asea Next Level strategy. I'm so glad that I participated in this, and I jumped in as an entrepreneur in order to be a part of a team. And Dr. Walker is a powerful leader in our team. He has over 35 years of experience in internal medicine and a degree in preventive medicine and nutrition. He's an avid skier and mountain climber, having even climbed Mount Everest. He really loves to have extra time now in his life with his wife and his grandchildren and children. He's been with the business, I believe it's over 9 years now, and he serves on the Asea's Medical Professional Board. And I look forward to hearing what he's going to share with us today. So let me welcome Dr. Walker to step right in.
Hello, everyone. How are you? I never get tired of hearing Alan Noble's explanation of this business, because he and I are I think Alan's only been in a year or two longer than I have in Asea. I first discovered this about 9 years ago, and it's been a wonderful journey. And most people think that what really attracted me to this was the science, and that's true. But I can tell you that I wouldn't be sitting in front of you talking about the business of Asea if it weren't that this was an incredible business, because I was plenty busy. I had a business. I was a full-time hospital-based physician. I was earning plenty of money. But I was, as Alan says, I was trading my time for dollars. And when I would see a patient in the hospital, if I was fortunate, the insurance company would pay me for that encounter, but they certainly wouldn't pay me over and over again. And so I had to be there every day, sometimes 7 days a week, weekends, holidays. And I didn't, I missed out on a lot of things with my family during the prime of my life because I was busy working. And what I can say is probably the biggest benefit that the business that I'm going to talk about has brought to me is freedom and freedom of choice. I could still go to the hospital and work 12-hour shifts. I'm still licensed. I've since retired from active medical practice, but I could still do it. But why bother when I can help people in actually oftentimes more and bigger ways by recommending Asea and talking to them about the benefits and getting them enrolled and getting them started on the product? Why would I go back to spending some of the best hours of my days and week in the hospital when I can do it from home and help people by sitting in my home-based office and getting on the computer and talking to you on Zoom? It's a lot more fun. It's a lot easier on my health and constitution, and I just enjoy it. And the business is there for everybody. Don't think that you have to be a healthcare professional or a doctor to be successful in this business. Quite frankly, if you were to look at the makeup of all I think we've got 50 some diamonds in Asea now, not very many of those diamonds are healthcare professionals. Why? Because healthcare professionals think they're too busy to do this business by and large, and they sort of miss out on understanding how beneficial this is and how potent the business is and how it could help them. For me, I didn't quit my job as a hospital-based physician right away. But by the time I did, I was making as much or more in Asea as I was making as a full-time physician. So think about that. I was doubling my income with a part-time job, a part-time business effort at Asea. And I'd done that in about 2.5, 3 years. So this is a very powerful income generating business, and you don't have to do it all yourself. It's built on teamwork. It's built on residual income. And it's really built on just following the model that Asea has set forth for us to build a very potent business. And also remember that even though you are in business for yourself, and it's really up to you to build your business, you're not in business by yourself, because you've got Gloria, you've got Marion, you've got a number of people who are willing to step in and help you build your business. I'm not even a sponsor of anybody in this line, and I help build your guys' business because the way the compensation plan is built, you're in my pay leg. So I benefit from you guys, from whatever you guys do. I get benefit in one of the several ways that Asea pays out. And so I'm willing to help out. I'm willing to lend my expertise and my viewpoint on this to, you know, Marion's and Gloria's team, because it's all for the betterment of everybody. And that's really, I think, the genius of how this business model comes together is we're all incentivized to help each other. So even though you're building your own business as an entrepreneur, you've got plenty of help because there's a lot of people who are invested in you being successful. Because if you're successful, we're successful. And that's just, I think, a much better business model than the typical corporate pyramid, where there's one guy at the top or maybe 2 or 3 vice presidents or something like that, and everybody else is working for a measly salary that just barely pays for their expenses in life. And so I'm going to pull up a PowerPoint, and what I'm going to do is, you know, Alan showed you the 2020 income report. Is everybody on here an associate already, Gloria? Okay, cool. Because technically, according to the Federal Trade Commission, I couldn't say some of the things that I'm going to say to you today about income. They're really clamping down on companies like this in terms of income claims and that sort of thing. But you're already here. You're already an associate. So I'm just going to, I think, shed more light on how potent this business is and where you can go with it, and how you can use this business model to make a substantial amount of income. I'll take some questions at the end. I'm not going to go into what it takes to be a D300 or D700. You can go into your back office and pull up the compensation plan summary, and it's all on there, two pages, everything you need to know about what it takes to reach rank. What I'm going to do is talk about the money and how the money works and how you can generate it. So I'm going to, am I a co-host? Can I share screen, Gloria? Okay, cool. So let me find the right, here we go. Can you see that? Okay, good. So we're going to talk about the income potential and how that can really expand your lifestyle choices. But this, I don't want you to miss this. You're already in, you've already seen a vision, at least at some level, of what this can do for you. But, you know, the timing in this business is absolutely crazy. I mean, we're in the midst of a megatrend, and that megatrend, we're probably in the midst of several megatrends. We're certainly in the midst of people wanting to be entrepreneurs. I mean, we got a strange economy going right now. We've got, have you driven downtown and see all the jobs, you know, all, you know, employees wanted jobs available? I mean, what's going on here? I mean, why anybody would say they're out of work is beyond me. But I think what's going on is people are saying, I don't really know if I want that crummy job. I want more out of life than just that job. And so we are seeing a mega trend of entrepreneurity. We're seeing a lot of people that want to go into business for themselves so that they can control their own destiny, control their income, because they're the ones that determine what their income is. So this kind of opportunity, this kind of business is in huge demand. We're also seeing a mega trend in personal health responsibility. You know, 20 years ago, I didn't think anybody cared about being healthy. I thought they all just wanted to come to the doctor every time they, you know, something hurt, or they, you know, and now people are saying, well, I don't really know if I want to go to a doctor if I can help myself. So we're seeing a trend in personal responsibility for their health, and that plays right into the technology that we have. We're also perfect timing in the company because the company is launching into an aggressive growth phase. They are going to more than double their yearly business, their yearly sales, in as little as 2.5 years. So it took them about 10 years to get to 200 million in sales, and they are planning on being at 500 million by 2025. And everybody that takes part in that on an active level is going to reap the benefits of that increased cash flow coming into Asea. So this business and the timing in this business is absolutely crazy when you really look at it. And it's actually a lot better than it was 9 years ago when I got involved, when the company was like at 50 million in sales. I mean, it was a tiny little company then, but it was growing, and we had this same wonderful technology, but it's a whole heck of a lot better now. I mean, just look at the tools that we have and the help that we have and all the webinars that we put on. And yes, it is multi-level marketing. You know, multi-level marketing still has a little bit of a negative connotation for some people. The buzzword now that everybody's after is affiliate marketing. Well, we are affiliate marketing. We're affiliate marketing, teamed up with a multi-level marketing compensation plan. And that's all that we are. And that equals what we call next level marketing. I'm not going to spend much time on that, but if you can get a hold of the video that our founder, Tyler Norton, put together on next level marketing at the meeting in Nashville last year, you'll know a little bit more about what we're talking about. But this is really an entrepreneur business model. And you can do a lot of it on social media. We're doing it we're kind of doing a hybrid form here where you come on webinars or webcasts and that kind of thing, but you can do a lot on whatever your favorite social media platform is. And if you need help with that, we can show you where you can get education on how to incorporate an Asea business into social media. But let's look at how much you can actually earn in this business. And Asea published this back in 2020. And it was their updated income disclosure statement. And they said, look, we're going to put down all of our ranks, director 300, all the way up to ambassador diamond. And we're going to show you what people are making, the ranges, monthly low, monthly high, and those different income categories. And then we're going to give you the average. So what they also did, and let me explain this a little bit more. These are people, these numbers are based on they looked at all the director levels that were active. So in other words, you were doing your $100 a month, you're qualified as an active director level. Director 300s that were qualifying as Director 300, not just lifetime rank, but you were qualifying at Director 300 week after week after week. Same with Director 700. So you were active business builders maintaining your business at these levels so that you know what we're talking about. We're not talking about all the lifetime bronzes or D700s. We're talking about people that were qualifying actively throughout the year at these different ranks. So just so you understand, I want you to really understand what we're talking about here. And then they also put together a timeline. In other words, how long does it take to get to D700 on average? How long does it take to get to bronze, to silver, to gold? And that's kind of a confusing chart, so I didn't put it up here because it's based on weeks. So what I've done is gone in and said, look, based on that income disclosure statement, how long on average did it take to earn $1,000 a month? Well, it was 2 months, and that corresponded to a rank of bronze. So there's the bronze, 2,040, and it takes on average 2 months to get to $2,000. Takes 4 months. It takes 2 months to get to 1,000, which was the average for a D700. So you can almost look at this and say, look, what I really would like to be making is $6,000 a month. How long would that take me? Using this compensation plan and being actively engaged in the business. And I'm going to show you in a few minutes what that means. But how long would it take me to get to that $6,000 a month target? Well, 9 months. And you would have to be what level? You want $6,000 a month? That means you're aiming at gold. And you can go into the comp plan summary and find out what it takes. What are the qualifications to be gold? I can tell you what it takes to be gold. You need to be prospecting every day. You need to be calling new people and ask them to take a look at what we're doing, inviting them to this webcast that Gloria puts on every Wednesday. You've got to be actively engaged in the business, asking new people to take a look at these products, take a look at this business model, take a look at what you're doing, and say, look, I don't know if you'd be interested or not, but I really, as your friend, I really think this is information that you deserve to know about. to know about this possibility, to know what you could do if you wanted, if it looked interesting to you. So let's look a little further into this. So you want to make $25,000 a month? That's a heck of a lot of money. To do it in 27 months, which is just a little over 2 years, I quite frankly don't know of any other way that you can do that that's legal. There are probably a number of different illegal ways, but I don't know very many businesses where you can start from scratch, not knowing a thing about this, become an entrepreneur, spend $40 to become an associate, maybe invest $500 to $1,000 in your enrollment pack, and go into business. And in a little over 2 years, be making $25,000 a month. Now, you're not guaranteed of this by any means. These are people who have already made those decisions, who are already taking the actions, who are already working this business every day. Still, most people up until Diamond are doing this part-time. I was a Diamond. I was part-time until I was a double Diamond. I was still working at the hospital, not 70 hours a week, but I was still working. So many of these incomes up to about $16,000 a month, many of those people are just working part-time. So that's the potential. That's the real, what people are making. Not guaranteed that you're going to make that just because you reach that rank. But if you reach that rank and you're qualifying at that rank and you're actively engaged in the business, you're going to be somewhere in that range of incomes. You might be average, you might be on the lower end, you might be on the higher end. A lot of that just depends on the size of your business at that rank. So how can this be possible? How can we build these kinds of incomes? We do it because we use leverage. We do it because we build teams. It's not all up to you. You're not the only one that's adding people to the teams. You've got other people that are adding people that you've sponsored and people that other people under you have sponsored. And that's where the leverage comes in. And I'll show you that in a minute. And you're also creating residual income, because I've got people in my organization that started using this product shortly after I did 9 years ago, who are still using this product. And every time they buy product, I earn a little bit of income from that. They add that to my check from Asea. Those people aren't paying me. Asea is paying me, and I'm still making money on those transactions 9 years later, even though some of those people I haven't spoken to for years. They're satisfied customers. They're on the subscription auto ship program, and they love the product. And because they're telling people, and those people are coming in and taking product, it's reproducing. So it's residual income. The simple example is you put money in the bank and it earns interest every month or whatever, but that only grows by the interest. Your bank account doesn't reproduce itself, but your Asea business does. So we've got access. Everybody is sitting on top of a potential business that they can grow locally, regionally, internationally into a huge business. And leverage is the name of the game. You talk to top, business people, successful entrepreneurs, whatever, and they're all going to tell you that if you don't have some sort of leverage going in your business, you are never going to get the kinds of incomes and the freedom that we can provide with this business model. So now let's take a look at how the business model works to create those incomes. Now, from here forward, the money that you're looking at, the incomes that you're looking at, are theoretical. They're based on a model of what would happen if you did this. What would your organization look like if you did this? Up until now, we've been talking real numbers. We've been talking what has happened to people who have done this, actual people, actual affiliates, associates in the business. That's what we've looked at up till now. Now we're going to look theoretically at how you could put together something like this. So let's say you join today or last week or whatever. You're committed to doing the business and you sponsor 4 people. Let's say that's in a week or a month, whatever. I'm going to say it's a month. You sponsored 4 people in the next month. And then they went out and sponsored 4 people in the following month. And you added 3 more personally sponsored. That's what the +3 PS is, okay? And then each of those 16 went out and sponsored 4 more. That's the leverage working for you, okay? Because you sponsored 4, who sponsored, each sponsored 4, who each sponsored 4. Now you're up to 64. And you added a couple of more personally sponsored. So personally sponsored, you're at 4 plus 3, which is 7 plus 2, which is 9, okay? So you've only sponsored 9 people up until now. And yet you've got 64 plus 16, you've got what, 60, 80 people in your group. That's real leverage. And now if those 64 each sponsor 4, you've got 256 plus the 64 plus the 16. Now it's getting, so I got to get out my calculator to add up these numbers because they're getting pretty high pretty quick, okay? And maybe you sponsor a couple more personally sponsored because that's fun. You don't want to quit sponsoring personally, but you don't have to be sponsoring a whole bunch more for your organization to really grow in size if you're teaching your people how to reproduce what you've just done. And that's really the name of this game. It's duplication, just doing what you've done. Sure, you can do more. If you do less, your results are going to be less. If you do more, they're going to be more. So let's say that was done monthly. Like month 1, you sponsored your 4, then each of them did 4, yada, yada, for 4 cycles. And you were adding in a few additional ones each month. So let's see what happens when we put some sales in here, some enrollment packs and some auto ships that we now call subscriptions. So I'm going to get rid of these pictures over here. So let's say that we had everybody in that scenario come in with a 150 CV pack as an enrollment pack. You know, it's a case of Asea and a tube of Renew, okay? And they got an auto ship for the same amount, 150 case and a tube. So in month 1, you get a fast start bonus of 120, team commission 30. Your total income in that first month would be $200. You're not quite even because you spent a little bit more than that to get your initial product, and you'd be a director. Let's say in the next month, you would now be earning 240. You'd be getting some team commission, a little fast start bonus, and you would be a director 300. And again, I'm not going to go into what that means to be that rank, but you would be a director 300 in the next monthly cycle. And you can see in this third cycle, you'd have 64 associates, and you would be making about $700, and you would be a D700. And in the next cycle, you'd have 256 new associates. You'd have actually more than that because you'd add up all those different, you'd add up those 4 levels. But in that 4th monthly cycle, your income would be about $2,600, and you would be a gold executive. So let's look at what would happen if instead of having somebody come in with a personal product pack, 150, what if you enrolled them with either a family business pack or an entrepreneur pack? Because this makes a substantial difference in your incomes and your rank achievements because you're putting more business volume through your organization. And people are getting more product. They're getting more experiences. They're believing in the products more because they're using more product. They're using more types of products. So these are the different options. And when you look at the real cost, when you figure in the LRP rewards that they get for buying one of these packages, if you consider they waive the $40 fee if they get an entrepreneur pack, you're really looking at real costs for these different packs. And I'm not going to belabor this, but you should walk yourself through this and understand when you're talking to people about these different packs, what they're actually getting. Because the real cost for a business pack, I often call that a family pack, isn't $520. It's actually $410 because you get $110 in benefits or in bonuses when you do that pack. So be able to explain that to people. For the entrepreneur pack, it's not $1,000. It's actually closer to $700, $695 when you subtract out the bonuses that they're getting. And you look at this over a 3-month period, because we always ask people to commit to at least 3 months. And you start factoring in the loyalty reward points that they get on those auto ships during that time. So let's look at if instead of bringing people in with a personal pack, you brought people in with a business pack. And if the business pack, the 500 business pack, gives you 400 in CV, and then you get people to agree to an auto ship or subscription package of 150 CV, one case and a tube renew. In the first month, your average rank would be the same, director, but you'd earn almost twice as much money. You'd earn $450. In the second monthly cycle, this is the same number of people, same 4 to start with and 16. In that second cycle, you would be earning over twice what you would earn in the other, and you would be a D700 earning, and you would have earned now almost $1,000, which would more than pay back your initial investment, 450 plus 590. In the third cycle, you would be earning at least $1,590 plus whatever the EMP pool paid you, and you would already be a silver executive. And in the fourth month, you would be earning almost $6,000, and you would be a diamond. How would it be if you could be a diamond in 4 months? And you're saying, well, nobody could do that. And I'll tell you that it has been done. I can't tell you how many of the diamonds have done it in 4 to 5 months, but I know it's been done. It took me several years. But this is a business model that can work if you work the model. So it can be really, really incredible. But let's compare the results versus one or another of those entrepreneur packs versus business pack. These are just showing you the different totals and incomes, levels of achievement, one versus the other. And you can earn a substantial amount more money when you're starting with an entrepreneur pack than a business pack. Excuse me, a business pack versus a personal products pack. For example, in the third month, 1, 2, 3, you see, if your average person was coming in with just a personal product pack, 150 plus auto ship, in that third month, you're going to be earning $700. If you're bringing people in with the business pack, which is $500, $700, in that third month, you're going to be making about $1,600. Quite a substantial difference. And in that fourth month, instead of being at 2,600 at a gold, you're going to be a diamond at what, $6,000 a month. So it makes a significant difference how you structure your business, whether you're bringing people in with a personal product pack, or whether you're bringing people in with a business pack or an entrepreneur pack. The important thing is whatever pack you start people with, you have got to get them on auto ship, because if you're not getting people on auto ship, you're not building a residual income business. You simply aren't, because that's the residual part of our business. How are those residuals generated? Because you're building networks under networks under networks. And you can earn up to $40,000 a month just on your team commissions. They top it at that. They won't let you earn any more. That's because of certain rules and regulations that regulate our industry. But $40,000 a month isn't bad, and especially when that's almost all residual. And the company guarantees that they're going to pay out 50% of sales revenue. And when their sales revenue is at $500 million, we're all going to be making a lot more money than we're making now. So I'm going to stop the share and see if any of you have questions about how this business works and what you can make if you work the business. The business does work, but you have to work the business for that to happen. So I don't know if you have any business questions. I could certainly try to answer them for you if you do. And I would urge you, when you look at the different levels of the packs that people come in, the enrollment packs, that you really understand the value that's in there for the new person. and how much their savings, the benefits that they're getting from that, which are to a big extent the fact that they jump ahead on the loyalty rewards point percentage. And to get them to start thinking about that, you have to get them to start thinking about a 3 to 4 month period while they're looking at how this business plays out, not just the first month, but how it's going to look in 3 to 4 months. We just signed a guy up this morning that got interested on last night's 30-minute Zoom thing. He came in with a business pack, and we explained to him, at the end of that 3rd month, you're already going to be eligible for a pack and a half free based on the loyalty rewards. Why? Because you got 50 points given to you as part of that package. You start at a 10% accumulation monthly on your auto ships. He's going to be on an auto ship for a couple of cases and a couple of tubes of Renew. So by the end of that 3rd month, he's going to be able to get a case and a half of Asea or a case of Asea and some Renew for nothing. And when I'm talking to somebody enrolling, that's what I'm talking about. I'm not saying how much it's going to cost them. I'm talking about how much they're going to benefit by buying that pack and having enough product on hand to do some great things for him. And it worked out. The other thing that worked out really good for him is he bought the Redox suite, and then we put the Asea Via on his first and second auto ship. So he's got 4 cases of Asea. He's going to take 8 ounces a day. That's enough for 2 months. So why load him up with more Redox on his auto ship? He wanted the Via products as well. So he gets his Redox on his initial purchase. He gets his Renew on his first and second auto ship, and he gets his Via on his first and second auto ship. And then on that 3rd auto ship, we're going to have to go back in and change it so we can start getting a couple of cases of Asea Redox a month. So understand how that works and how you can mix and match products to find out what people need and want, and then put together the best package for them, and then show them how they're going to benefit. What are they going to get out of buying that pack now, instead of just getting what they need this month and then going month to month, because those packs can really set people up for some real benefits that save them money. So any questions at all?
I just would like to acknowledge what you were just saying, the importance of those conversations that you have with people, to really listen to what their needs are, so that you can take the time to really map out a vision with them. That's really important for them to see that vision and to also experience the accompaniment, the team that's there for them, alongside of them, and being available to answer any questions as it comes along. It's really powerful.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And the team can make a big difference for people, especially when they start the business. But I don't know if your meetings like this are bringing in people. Hopefully they are. But the nice thing about people seeing Asea in a setting like this is they already know there's a team involved, because they're sitting here watching their webinar, or if you're having a live meeting, it's even better if you can have live meetings, but these webcasts are working out quite well that way too. They already know that they've got, at least half a dozen people who are with them they could call to do a three-way call with, to ask people how things working out for them. And so I love these short group presentations, because they are working for bringing people in. So great.
Mary, you have a question?
Yeah, I do. Am I unmuted?
Yes.
Dr. Walker, thank you so much for that illuminating presentation. It was awesome. I haven't heard a presentation about the business for a long time, and this was very refreshing. I just have a couple of comments. I think the presentation that I just watched underscores the importance of leading with the business when you're talking to people. And then like Gloria said, you really listen for people's needs and wants. And they might not have mentioned the money. They might maybe felt they need to be a customer, but almost everybody has financial needs. And doesn't take long at all to have enough money to pay for the product, and the product comes free. It's start making money. The other thing is when you're talking to people, almost everybody is in financial straits. If you look at and created a financial profile, hardly anybody is really ready to retire. And you see 60, 70-year-old people working because they have to work. They hadn't saved enough money. People who are 50 and 55 can't retire. They haven't built enough of a nest egg. And this is their hope. This is their hope that we never had in the past. I've been in network marketing since 1990. At that time, it took about 12 years to become a millionaire for a variety of reasons. Today, I see millionaires creating that level, 3 to 4 years. 3 to 4 years can give you financial freedom today, which brings hope to people who don't have the savings that they never created. So we talk about hope and opportunity. This is it. It's right here. And there's no other model that does this. No other model.
Exactly. And think of it with what's been going on the last couple of years with COVID and the economy. I would bet you that there are a lot of people who, even if they were putting away money for retirement, even if they were funding an IRA before this, many of them have had to dip into their IRAs just to survive, just to pay their bills because they've been out of work. And so right now is a prime time to offer people really a lifesaver, a lifeline to the future. Because Marion's right. It's a very low percentage of people that go into retirement with enough money to actually retire in the same lifestyle that they had when they were working. Most people have to really downsize. They either have to sell their home and move into a smaller home. Now you can't sell your home and move into a smaller home. They're all expensive, But financial, if you will hold out two hands and say, I can improve your health dramatically, or I can improve your financial wherewithal dramatically. Which do you want? More than half of them are going to say, I'm hurting financially more than I am physically. And I really need more help in that direction. And we miss out if we don't offer them that lifeline as well as the health. Because think of it, if they get into the business, they're going to use the product. But if they get into the product, they aren't necessarily going to do the business. And so we really need to be focusing a bit more, even if our primary love for this company is around the product. We need to focus more attention than we have been, I think, on the business opportunity. And I know corporate is going to go in that direction and focus more on the business opportunity. Not that they're taking their eye off the game with products. They're coming out with 3 new products in April. They're really dramatically bumping up their technology and their research and all of that. But they're also really bumping up their inputs, their investment in the business side of this thing and growing the business as well.
One of the things that really attracted me about this business is the mentorship that's available from the people that are working the business. They're really real people, and they're sharing their real results, and they're sharing their models of what's possible because they've done it. And then they're walking alongside of you while you learn how to do it yourself.
Yeah, and you don't find that in corporate America. In corporate America, people protect their positions. They're not going to tell you everything about how to move up because you might move up and take their spot. And so in the corporate pyramid, the typical corporate, business, people aren't necessarily reaching down to give you a hand up and to help you and to give you everything that you need, because that way you sometimes become a threat to them. But in this business, the better people do that I've brought in, the better I do. I tell people, hey, if you can put me out of a job, if you can be so successful that I can just stay at home and do what I want to do or travel or whatever, great, go for it. I'll help you. I'll help you all you want. I'll invest in your future because I know that that's going to help. And I also know that it's not only going to help me, but it's going to help everybody that's in the tree between them and me, and then everybody above me. And so when one of us succeeds, we all succeed. And the same cannot be true of any other business structure that I'm aware of.
I totally agree with that, Dr. Walker. I know that with the network marketing, there's a strong team community culture. There are no lone rangers that get to the top. We work as teams. Yeah.
And in this company, in some other MLM network marketing companies, there are jealousies and competitions between lines or organizations. I have not seen that at all in Asea. Many of the people that I work with are cross-line or upline or, whatever. We just don't tend to worry about that too much because we know that a rising tide raises all ships. And especially with this company, because we're still so small and because our technology is so new, the more people that we get out there who start to hear about redox, the more we're all going to benefit from that. So great.
Well, thank you so much, Dr. Walker. This was really very informative and inspiring. And I want to thank everybody for participating in the call. And I look forward to catching up with you afterwards.
Have a great week, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.